friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a brand new collection coming from ColourPop. This is the Limoncello collection, and it's launching on March 18th on the ColourPop website at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you check your time zones. So far, the prices for this collection have not been confirmed, and ColourPop has not confirmed if this collection will be available at Ulta or not. So once we have solid information about prices and availability, I will update the description box for you. There are a lot of pieces in this collection, so let's just get straight into it because I want to show you swatches, application demos, eyeshadow tutorial, comparisons, everything. So let's get right to it. There are 3 products from ColourPop's sister companies, so Fourth Ray and Soul Body. We'll start with those. The first product we're going to look at is from Fourth Ray. This is not a new product. The Glisten Up Illuminating Mist already exists in the Fourth Ray line, but it does have special outer packaging just on the box. The bottle itself doesn't have any special packaging. It's just this outer carton. And I had seen rumblings that this was a new Glisten Up. I compared it to an old one that I had already in my collection, and they look exactly the same to me. So I don't think this is new. What is new are 2 new oils from Soul Body. There's a shimmering dry oil in the shade Citron Crush. Beautiful theming all across this entire collection with the lemons and the blue tile look. I just really enjoy this. I think it's so fresh. It's so springtime. So here's the shimmering dry oil before you shake it up. This is the one that kind of settles and you have to shake the product to disperse all of the pigment in there. And then here's what it looks like shaken up and applied to the skin. I wanted to show you this swatch in the sunlight. I just think that does more justice to the product and is more true to what it's actually going to look like in life for you. Same thing across the board here with the Fourth Ray and Soul Body products. It's not special packaging on the actual bottles of product themselves, just these really pretty lemon themed outer cartons. As you can see here, just looking at it in the bottle, the glow oil has a much different consistency than the shimmering dry oil. Personally, I much prefer the glow oil consistency, and I wanted to give you another sunlight swatch here. This one just has less kind of loose, shimmery, glittery particles and is more of an overall sheen type of glow, which I really like. There is a brush set with this collection, which I think is such a good idea. Let's take a close-up look at this little pack of brushes. The 5-piece brush set is going to come in this little canvas bag. It has a little ribbon drawstring closure. Very cute. I think this idea is absolutely brilliant. I love ColourPop brushes. These are all synthetic brushes, and this is special sort of brush packaging for this collection. Here we see an F1, E2, E6, E4, and E21. They all have a yellow handle and a gold ferrule. This is a completely brand new colorway for ColourPop brushes, and the bristles are super, super soft and flexible. You'll get to see me use them more later. There are 4 Luxe glosses in the Limoncello collection. On the ColourPop products, the makeup products, you're going to start seeing special packaging on the outer cartons as well as on the product packaging itself. These little Luxe glosses are so, so cute. There are 4 different shades. We have yet another clear, sparkly gloss. I feel like they've done so many of these recently. So that's sort of the least exciting one for me. Just my opinion, but the packaging here is gorgeous. We have the pale yellow lids with the sort of tile inspired print, and then on the actual gloss tube itself, you'll see that the font from the outer packaging carries over, and this really pretty lemon print in gold detailing is printed on each one of these glosses. I think this is just so fresh. It's so cute. I'm really into it. I know I'm going to say that a million times, so I apologize in advance. Otherwise, exact same wand applicator, exact same scent, same formula as the rest of the glosses in the Luxe Gloss line. Now I just want to show you a couple of lip swatches. I am not going to swatch the shade Italian Ice. It's literally just a clear gloss with some little gold sparklies in it. Just didn't really seem like it would be that helpful to lip swatch a clear gloss for you. But I wanted to show you the other three shades. These do have a very nice amount of pigmentation. I really think all three of them are pretty. They work well within this collection, and they're gonna look great across the board on all different skin tones, especially the shade Gelato. It's a really gorgeous nudie meets coral type of shade. I think it's going to be flattering on so many people. It's a beautiful spring and summer color. It's definitely my favorite of the Luxe glosses in this collection. Now for cheeks, we have 3 blush sticks. We haven't seen any new blush sticks in a while, so this is exciting. I really like this product, so I'm happy to see some new shades of this one. Packaging here is really similar to what we saw on the Luxe glosses. The box is the same setup, and then the actual blush sticks have that same tile inspired type of print on the lids and the same soft pale yellow color on these blush sticks packaging. This is a twist up. It's very, very easy to use. It twists up and down very easily. Here's a look at the 3 Limoncello blush sticks shades. These coordinate really nicely with the glosses. I like that sort of intentionality. I do kind of wish that we would have gotten at least 1 light stick, so the highlighter version of this formula in like a soft, maybe duochrome or shifty type of golden shade. I think that would have been really nice, but I think these shades are great. I am going to give you some comparisons for each one of the blush sticks shades. I didn't go too crazy with the comparisons. I just gave you 2 or 3 for each shade, but hopefully you will find this helpful if you already have some blush sticks in your collection, or if there was a shade that you were interested in that you never got around to picking up. Maybe now you can find a reasonable substitute for your favorite. The only one that I didn't have a ton of great comparisons for is the deepest shade in this collection called Coastal Drive. So I think that this is probably the most unique, but that's only if you already have a bunch of the other blush stick shades. I want to show you a couple of these products in action. Before we get to the eyeshadow tutorial, I want to give you a cheek tutorial. So we're going to start with the shade Cottage Life. I just went straight onto my cheek and then dabbed it out with my finger. This type of product layers really easily. You can definitely control the pigmentation. If you want a more dramatic look, you can layer more blush. I'm going a little bit softer for this first application because I am going to be layering a couple of the shades. It's another thing you can do if you want to customize your cheek color. In this case, I wanted to brighten it up just a little bit, add a little bit of that springtime corally cheek look. And I also wanted to show you this Soul Body Glow Oil and how much versatility there is in this product. You just need the teeny tiniest bit, but you can definitely wear this on your face. This is not just for the body. I think it looks so soft, so beautiful. It's definitely giving me that pale yellow gold highlight that I was wishing for from a light sticks in this collection. Definitely fulfilling my casually sweaty cheek desires with this one. Now moving on to eyes, we have a brand new product coming from ColourPop. For the first time ever, we have shadow sticks. Here's a close-up look at the pack of shadow sticks. This 4-piece set is called Riviera Cruisin'. I have a feeling these will be sold individually as well. And this packaging is so luxurious. All the details are raised. There's a beautiful texture, this gold detailing. It's really feels nice. Looking at the shadow sticks themselves, they have a pale yellow color. And then the bottom coordinates to the shade inside, so you can easily grab the one you're looking for instead of having to open them all up. They do twist up and down just like the blush sticks. We have two that are a metallic finish and two that are a matte finish. So Cool Breeze and Citrus Squeeze are metallic. Check Please and Style and Ease are matte finish. I love that they chose to go with colors here instead of introducing more neutrals. This is a great way to amp up the pops of color that are already existing in the palette, and I think these are really wise choices and fun choices. I also wanted to show you a smudge test. Now, if you let these sit for longer, they were only on my arm for a few minutes, then they're even more budge proof. But take a look at that matte corally color in particular. It barely budges. So the matte shades do dry down quite well, and the metallic ones stay in place really well too. It's just that blue pigment that moved around a lot, but with a makeup wipe, these do come right off, so they're not impossible to remove. And last, but certainly not least, we have this Limoncello eyeshadow palette. I'm just gonna get it out of the way right now before I even give you the info. I really, really like this palette a lot. I'm gonna try to contain myself. Let's take a close-up look at this palette. We're gonna do swatches, we got comparisons, I got a tutorial. We have a lot to talk about, and there's a lot to say. The outer carton and the palette itself have the exact same artwork, same printing, both on the front of the palette and box as well as on the back. All of the shade names are listed on the back. They're also printed inside next to the pans. We'll get to the inside in a minute. I just wanted to give you a close-up look at these textures and details. They're very, very luxurious. And the palette itself feels very weighty. It feels a lot heavier than typical ColourPop palettes. And I also want to point out here on the back, there is one shade that has an eye safety warning. This is not a pressed glitter, so it is likely just due to the pigments in this shade. If you want more info about that, I will link a video below for you. There's a nice big mirror in here, lots of really beautiful graphics throughout. This shade has 7 true mattes and 5 shimmers, so no glitters, no matte with glitter. And like I said, the shade names are printed inside next to the pans in this beautiful blue colored font. I just think this is so pretty, so luxurious, this Italian inspiration. It feels very rich, but at the same time, it's a little bit playful. It's very approachable. I'm pointing out that shade Fly Girl. That's the one that you need to patch test. More info about that in my wine collection video that I'll link below. Now, this palette is bigger than their standard 12 pan palettes. I'm just comparing it here to At For A Sight so you can see it's quite a bit larger, the outer packaging itself, and the eyeshadow pans are larger. So the typical ColourPop palette has a 22mm pan. The Limoncello palette has significantly larger 26mm pans, so you wouldn't be able to switch the Limoncello pans out with other ColourPop palettes. Just FYI, I know a lot of people like to do that. Here are the swatches of the Limoncello palette. These are done just straight onto my arm. There's no primer down first. On top are finger swatches, and then pictured below are brush swatches. They're done with a dry, flat e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Across the board, all of these shadows swatch beautifully. I think the brush swatches are just as smooth and opaque, if not more so, than the finger swatches. Particularly look at those last 4 matte shades. Just so nice. Now, I'm going to show you a quick eyeshadow tutorial for the eye look that I'm wearing throughout the talking portions of this video. I primed my eyes first with my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Then I combined these 2 yellowy golden shades, Amalfi and Limone Squeezy. This just gave me a perfectly bright, warm crease, but that deeper, more orangey golden color just grounded it a little bit for me. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of depth to the outer part of my eye. So I'm using the shade Tuscan Fun, And I just want to point out I am using the brushes from the 5-piece brush set for this look. So you get to see not only the palette in action, but also the brush set. So I'm just building up that warm brown on the outer part of my eye. And I'm also going to add a little bit of that same shade to the outer part of my lower lash line. Next, we're going to use one of the shadow sticks. This is the shade Cool Breeze, and I'm just applying that directly to my lid. Now, these did take a little bit of building up, but still super easy to use and looks nice and metallic on the eye. Now I'm taking the shade Fly Girl, and using my finger, I'm just going to tap that on the edge where those two shadow shades meet. Then I went back in with my original transition color combo and just sort of blended the edges of everything, blow it out a little bit. Next, I'm taking the shade Vespa, and on the angled brush from the brush set, I'm doing a little bit of a faux liner, packing that right along the outer part of my lash line, and then whatever was left on the brush, I just dragged down a little bit to the lower lash line. Then I used this shade called Touring, and with my pinky finger, dabbed a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes, curled my lashes, added my Huda Beauty Legit Lashes mascara, and that's my finished look. This is warm and sunshiny, super easy to achieve, and it's a great way to wear a bright color, but it's still very much in my comfort zone. I love this look. It screams spring and summer to me, and I'm definitely going to be wearing this look and variations on it for many, many weeks to come. Now let's do some palette comparisons. These are mostly taken from my Instagram post, the requests from my comments, and the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette was one of the most commonly mentioned in my original swatch post for this Limoncello palette. I can see why. A lot of very similar shades here. And probably second most requested was the Sandstone palette, and I can definitely see why, but it's worth pointing out that the Sandstone palette has a lot more of those sequin shades, the mattes with glitter in them, and Limoncello doesn't have any of those. When it comes to the At Forest Sight palette, I can see why this comparison was requested. There are a couple of shades here that are similar, only a handful. Really, I think the overall color story is quite complementary between these two palettes. If you wanted to vamp up this Limoncello palette, At Forest Sight would be a good way to go. Now, the Yes Please palette is another one that has a decent amount of overlap. However, Yes Please has a lot of orangey and more red-based shades. Overall, Yes Please is just a lot more warm-toned. Boudoir Noir is another one that got a few mentions on that Instagram post, and I can kind of see why. I don't think this is a really great comparison. Again, I could see these working well together, but maybe only one shade that's super duper similar between these two palettes. Of course, we've got to talk about the yellow 9 pans from ColourPop. First up is Little Ray of Sunshine. There are quite a few shades that are similar in this one, but Little Ray of Sunshine obviously is very monochromatic. It doesn't have any of those pops, and it's an all matte palette. The last one we're going to talk about is the Honey palette. I think this one is even less similar than the Little Ray of Sunshine palette, but you know, there's definitely a couple similarities here, mainly that matte yellow in the center, but not tons of overlap in my opinion. Overall, I think this is a really well-rounded collection. I love the theming, I love the colors. I think doing a brush set is such a great idea. I hope we see more of that in the future. I love ColourPop brushes. I think they're underrated. This is such a cute, fun way to introduce a staple item like makeup brushes. I absolutely love this. I'm so happy to see some new blush sticks. I like all 3 colors. This is a formula that I've really enjoyed, a tried and true formula. I always love to see new products, new formulas, new things coming from ColourPop. That aspect of the shadow sticks is really exciting, and hopefully this is the type of product that they expand more. But personally, I'm not a huge eyeshadow sticks type of person. Tend to prefer powder shadows. So that doesn't mean that the product itself isn't good. It's just, as far as my preferences go, it's not really my favorite thing ever, but it's always exciting to see new products. By far, my favorite thing is this eyeshadow palette. I love yellow, I love warm neutrals. I'm really happy to see no pressed glitters in here. This feels cohesive, it feels spring and summer. The Italian theme, the packaging, everything is just really luxurious feeling. The shadows themselves perform beautifully. I even really like this green, and I'm not a big blue and green girl. I probably will still struggle to use this matte blue, but formula-wise it's stunning. I love the balance, I love the mix of shades, I love the packaging, I love the mirror. I really like this palette a lot. This is definitely a standout, this whole collection, but especially this palette. Something hasn't seemed so complete and so excellent probably since the At Forest Sight palette for me. So this is definitely my top pick, but all around, I really like this whole collection. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this one. Are you interested? Are you going to be picking this up? Which pieces are really grabbing your attention? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okay. Focus. Pay attention. Alright. I'm just so excited. I just get so excited. Okay, I'll calm down. Limoncello. Oh, also, take this, editing Amanda, take notes. We'll be at, that's not what I meant to say. Well, that was weird. I think this is my favorite one of the glosses. Gelato. I would say I'm done being weird now, but I don't want to lie to you. Cool. Huh? Do you like these cool chartreuse earrings? Of course they're from By Melkline. My earrings are always from By Melkline. They went with the whole vibe of the Limoncello collection. Got chartreuse earrings, gold nails, you know. We're just going for it. I should have worn a yellow shirt too. That might have been overkill. Plus this one's really comfy. You know, priorities. Gotta go. Love your face. Thanks for watching. You're so cute and cool. Okay, have a good day. Alright, love your face. Bye!